Yes, guys, we're finally back. We finally made it to another reaction, brothers and sisters. Welcome to this Brbptv. Be real, be positive television, brothers and sisters. I do appreciate every single one of you guys for definitely tuning into these vibrations. And of course, let me know your thoughts, brothers and sisters. Of course, this is where I give my thoughts. So let me know your thoughts in the comment box below, brothers and sisters. I won't be doing another reaction a bit later on, brothers and sisters. I won't be doing one later on, brothers and sisters. But I will definitely be doing a Mr. Leaks reaction video tomorrow, brothers and sisters, as God's pair. So definitely look out for that vibrations right there. And of course, guys, don't forget to do what? Hit that like button, brothers and sisters. Smash that like button. I would appreciate that right there. And of course, don't forget to do what? Subscribe, brothers and sisters. Subscribe and hit the post notification bell, so you pretty much get all the videos as they tend to come from. Of course, me give my viewpoint on a number of things. I'm pretty much trying to question the viability factor of what we are given in this here present time, especially when it comes down to the nature of the Caribbean right there and there, brothers and sisters. So of course, with that said, let us get into the vibrations for today right there. Now, brothers and sisters, there was a bit of a robbery, or what appeared to be a robbery. Yes, it was a robbery, brothers and sisters, that took place yesterday. Well, not really, because it seems like the individuals who did the robbery did not succeed. However, brothers and sisters, a number of persons will say, Mr. Leaks, what happened, brothers and sisters? Well, from what I was told or heard, brothers and sisters, on the basis of this whole thing, I was told that the individual or individuals who planned this robbery must have been looking at the bank for a while. And I've realized, hey, maybe we should try something very interesting right there. Instead of going for the front, let us try to go through the back of the bank. So it seems like they did some, from my understanding, they went through something in the back. I was told that there's some hole in the fence or something, and of course they entered the bank from the back. Apparently, it's alleged that they entered the bank from the back, and they went inside, brothers and sisters. So it seems like they made it inside the bank, and when they were inside the bank, they tried to get into the ATM part of the bank. Obviously, you know, when you get your money from the ATM, people put monies inside the ATM from the inside of the bank, not from the outside. So I guess they figured, hey, let us try to get into the ATM. We might not be able to get into the vault, but we can probably get into the ATM, brothers and sisters. So they broke into the back of the bank in Portsmouth, got inside, and went after the ATMs. And apparently that was not the case, because they could not get into the ATM. So, you know, that did not happen for them. Thank God for that. All I did indicate on my WhatsApp, I think they should have taken some or scared their money. But hey, we're not in the robbery business, brothers and sisters. Do not go and rob people's money. Anyways, brothers and sisters, so they were not successful in that regard. But I'm guessing that the individuals who were there, the police and everybody, would probably try to rectify that situation so it doesn't happen again. But it seems like individuals in Dominica are very much, and they, by the way, they did not catch the guys, even though they have cameras and all this kind of things, that they did not catch the guys or the guy, whoever did this right there. But it seems like these folks are some sort of experts. And I would not be, like I indicated yesterday, I would not be surprised if it's the same set of individuals that have been robbing across Dominica and have not been caught. Remember, they robbed the Astafans, I think it's Astafans wholesale area or whatever that is. They robbed that, brothers and sisters. They robbed Jimmy gas station when it was up. They robbed the number of, they came, I don't know if they came, it's the same sort of individuals, but it seems like these guys are experts in what they do. I don't know if it's people that were volleying in America and they get deported and they're in Dominica now, you know, and they figure Dominica's an easy target, so might as well, you know, maybe these same folks were the ones who went to rob the police station. Like I indicated yesterday, brothers and sisters, it's not like the police going to solve the problem in the first place. They robbed the police station. And they still don't solve the problems. I remember seeing a video of a particular individual who was, the lady, she was robbed on camera. Yes. And Kalai was in front, the lady. So maybe he had no clue what was happening. I remember seeing him passing on the camera. And the lady was at the back. And this young, light-skinned, brown-looking skin fella came and snatched the lady's necklace on camera, brothers and sisters. And apparently, I remember talking to a police officer a few months later in that regard. I said, what happened there? After I indicated, even though they see them on camera, they will still not get caught. And that was the case. They did not catch the person. Maybe they catch the person years later or something. I don't know, but as indicated right there, brothers and sisters, we have to be mindful. So sometimes maybe the police themselves, I don't know what kind of training they're doing, but maybe they need to go and train in that's all, let me leave that alone. But the individuals who apparently had the failed attempt at robbery, they escaped as well. They went at the back. It's interesting that also at the back has houses from I think there's a church on the side, and there's probably another thing at the back, I can't remember, but there's at least something on the side, and I'm guessing they figured, hey, no church, you know, everything closed, let's see if we can be discreet. I heard that they bore a hole in the back and in the fence, so c'est la vie, brothers and sisters. So that's what I heard as a result of this whole banking thing right there in Portsmouth. So I just had to bring this information for you guys, those who are wondering what on earth going on. We didn't get no statement from the bank at all. It's just alleged there. That's what I was told from a number of varying individuals in that particular area right there. Anyways, brothers and sisters, we are moving along, and I have some sort of good news. First, good news for you from the Prime Minister himself. All right? Now listen to this, brothers and sisters, and of course I'm going to dissect it. You know how I roll already.
You will owe in Grambling about $3 million. Not Grambling.
3.1.
Midwestern $3 million. As we speak today, we only owing them $489,000.
Okay, can we get a round of applause, brothers and sisters? A round of applause. All right, let's continue.
And in the next 2 weeks, we'll pay them the $489,000.
Okay, thank you.
And we shall owe Midwestern not one black cent.
Okay, wonderful. That's
and you know how much money we sent to Grambling State University in the last 7 or so years? $13 million US dollars.
Million US dollars. Oh wow, okay.
Of cash, Dominican money, into the US economy.
Okay, all right, that's wonderful. That's great. You are actually meeting the obligation that you set out, and it's making it seem like he's happy. Well, don't get me wrong, I'm happy that he's able to pay it, you know, because you need the students. And I think the only reason why he's coming here is on the basis that they actually put pressure and say, well, if you don't pay nothing, or if you don't clear it, we don't accept no more Dominicans. You reach to a point where the school saying that we don't want no more promissory notes. You pay the money for the students, past students, present students, and you know, so forth and so forth. Pay the money. And if you don't pay the money, we will not be giving the Dominican students the diplomas or whatever, the certificates or whatever they need to continue. And we will also be rejecting Dominicans from coming into the school right there. So they have to reach the point. They have to reach that point. I'm happy that you finally decided to, you know, give some monies right there. Ask me where the monies come from. We don't know, brothers and sisters. But we know that he, based off what he's saying, is clear. So I'm guessing that everything will be back on track with the Dominican students, because we know the Dominican students were under threat as a result of them being in the United States. Hopefully they didn't become person non gratas, persons of interest, brothers and sisters. And, you know, so that's always a good thing. But SKERRIT, you coming and then making this statement could have easily been avoided if you actually did meet the obligations to then pay when needed to be paid. You know how much time, brothers and sisters, this has gone on for years, where students are under threat. And the very school are trying their best to keep the Dominican students there. But obviously we know it's not on air the system runs. It's on money as well. You need oxygen to breathe, so yeah. And money as well, brothers and sisters. And SKERRIT just refused. There's one particular time where the state, I think it's state mayor or whoever, one of the leaders of the community had to step in to save the Dominican students, because the very Prime Minister was going to let the students fall by the wayside, as what's her name, Dronilia, would then come and say, oh, come and shake your pampalam. Ah, yes. He has come to admit what he should have been doing all along. So I guess he had to come and make the statement, because it didn't just reach the students' ears, you know, when they were talking and say, hey, we're not going to be getting our cards for us to get food, or we're going to be kicked out from our dorm rooms, or we're not going to be unable to enroll into the classes, or we're going to get kicked out, or we're going to lose our what is the F1, whatever, the visa, student visa thing. And if they're in states for, you know, they might become, you know, they'll be illegal in the country, so they will definitely have to leave the country. And all those kind of things that was happening, brothers and sisters, as a result of what he refused to do. I remember students talking to me, Mr. Lix, hey, last, I don't know what's going to happen, all these things, to the point where students who wanted to remain silent had to come out and speak about what was happening to them. The very interesting part now, I did not, well, this is not the full video, but the question here is not only just you speaking about Grambling University and Midwestern or wherever you're talking about in the United States. What about those in Cuba? What about the Cuban students who have not gotten any sort of stipend at all for them to meet basic obligations within the very hard times that they have been given? Or they have put themselves in, I would have to say, as a result of, well, not necessarily where they chose to study, but where they were given to study. Because they themselves will not be able to pay for it, so, you know, government gives scholarships and what have you, or the Cuban government gives scholarships, whichever it is, and you have to be the obligation of stipend, at least a little stipend here and there. Students have not gotten the stipends. Have you met that already, brothers and sisters? If you know the answer to that, let me know in the comment box. You know, the students who watch my videos from Cuba, let me know that as well. Has the government not meeting the obligations, or what obligations has the government not met? I heard that it is finally Ian Douglas and I guess his family went down to Cuba as ambassadors. So hopefully they actually do something. Well, do I have much hope in that something being done? I myself, I cannot say, because when I look at Portsmouth, he was a pirate from Portsmouth, and what was happening in Portsmouth, you know, I don't really see much. I don't see anything at all that has happened as a result. What is the present pirate of Portsmouth doing, huh? What are the pirates across Dominica doing in the constituencies, guys? Have you ever asked yourself that question? They give themselves salary increases, but what are they doing in the communities? Are they making CO? Are they doing CO for you guys to come and dance? Or are they putting things together for the youth to have a future of that sort? It'll be nice for me to get the answers, brothers and sisters. This is why you leave your comments in the comment box below, so that I can get to know, and of course other individuals who also read the comments. Not just me that read the comments, you know, brothers and sisters, other folks tend to read the comments as well. So let us know in the comment box below. All right then, brothers and sisters. So SKERRIT has finally, you know, admitted that they are finally giving the monies after owing so much. So much money, brothers and sisters. Where the students were under threat of being kicked out, and not just kicked out of school, you know, but being kicked out of the United States as well. The question here is, what about those in Cuba? Now, we're talking about payments being made. That's great, wonderful. That's wonderful, brothers and sisters. But what about payments that have been made to this kind of thing right there? What is this, brothers and sisters? We see some bags on the ground. Is this a bag of gold? Is this somebody left a bag of gold by a door or something, brothers and sisters? What exactly is going on right here? I don't think bag of golds will be in these kind of things there, because, you know, unless you get in the dirt, maybe there's a lot of gold in the dirt and it has to be siphoned out, brothers and sisters. I'm just talking nonsense right there, brothers and sisters. But this is what actually is happening right there. Sandbags to prevent water from entering our new hospital in MARIGOT. It seems like every building that they build seems to have some sort of water problem, but they want to call it resilient. I remember when they built the houses for the Bellevue Shopper individuals. Hopefully they rectified the situation. First rainfall, brothers and sisters, house was leaking. So that's another thing right there. The new hospital, China Friendship Hospital, brothers and sisters, it's still leaking today. But, you know, MARIGOT now, new hospital, you know, apparently it is not leaking, but there seems to be some sort of flaw in the design, because they need to put sandbags to prevent water from entering the new hospital of MARIGOT. The entrance doorway is level with the waterway with no covering. So maybe you guys can put a little covering, because it seems like this is a straight flight out. It should be a little up, and then, you know, have like a little step or 2 steps to go down. Or maybe they just put it this way so that they can roll people in, but you would have to have a ramp. That would make sense, to have a ramp where you can roll people in and avoid the water. But then again, maybe I'm not an engineer, brothers and sisters, so maybe they knew what they were doing, and as a result of them knowing what they were doing, water is still coming in, so they don't know what they're doing. But anyways, let's continue, brothers and sisters. The door entrance way is level with the walkway with no covering on top. So it's flat, the door flat, you know, rain falling, no covering over there. and so forth. So water is coming in. So hopefully they can, in the design, help out right there. So when it's raining, the water passes under the door and floods the entire waiting room. So man have to be playing surfing in the waiting room in the hospital in MARIGOT, it seems, based on what they say. It fills the entire waiting room, brothers and sisters. So they have to put bags for the water to not come in again. It's like in Hurricane Maria, you know, Hurricane Maria. Once again, brothers and sisters. Anyways, under the door and floors, the entire waiting room is flooded. But alas, the sandbags just can't stop the water from flowing. Well, let not your heart be troubled, my people. MARIGOT will rise again. So the Bill Hospital, brothers and sisters, hopefully they take this thing into consideration, because they make nice building. They make nice building in Roseau as well, or Goodwill, whichever you want to call it. They make nice buildings. The buildings that are supposed to be hospitals don't have, you know, adequate hospital supplies that is needed to actually save people. Which brings me to one of the individuals I know who passed away. And I'm thinking to myself, brothers and sisters, based off the information that I received on that particular individual who passed away, I don't really know what to think, brothers and sisters, because I know that the hospital has lacked a lot of equipment and maybe could have expanded that individual's life a little bit longer. Maybe, just maybe, you know, secure that individual, make a full recovery of sorts. If you had the right set of equipments, the right set of individuals, the right set of minds, and a broadened scope, brothers and sisters. This is one of the things I always look at. I always look at the herbal part of medicine, because we are carbon creatures needing carbon, you know, resources to help us. Carbon creatures, you know. One of the things that I think Dominica has failed as a nature island in the Caribbean, it claims to be, well, they claim it to be, is that we have lacked when it comes down to the herbal remedies that could have maybe saved lives. We would never know, brothers and sisters, if we didn't try or understand these kind of ways. Sympathies goes out to, man, brothers and sisters, the hospital needs a revamping, man. The hospital needs a revamping in that regard. Anyways, brothers and sisters, let me just continue right there. I don't want to go too crazy on that, but of course, you know, I received this thing right there, and the person that sent this stated what? I want this to reach Mr. X. Well, I am Mr. X and it reached me. Alright, brothers and sisters, in my beloved Dominica, I am lamentable. That's an interesting and distressing situation. Or maybe I am lamenting and a distressing situation has befallen the health sector, of course. As a middle care citizen, one who believes in affordable standard of living and access to quality health care, I've heard SKERRIT say that a number of times, for which it's not applicable in the hospital, but maybe they have to fly them overseas, and maybe he's overseas. He's talking about when he says he can fly his family overseas for better medical health, better medical health care. All right. Anyways, this individual said, I find myself compelled to address the grave concern. My heart aches for Dominica, especially regarding the current healthcare crisis at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. Brothers and sisters, first time I'm reading this, and I just indicated right there. So yes, we are on track, man. We are on track, brothers and sisters. The deplorable state of affairs is evident in severe shortage of basic, I just said this, basic medical supplies such as bandages, needles, and surgical necessities. It is unimaginable that patients are being urged to purchase bandages for their own wounds, dressing, and buy basic items. Do individuals have to pay money to the hospital, brothers and sisters, if they have to tend to do these things? That's another aspect. I remember growing up, brothers and sisters, and we didn't really have to pay much, especially for basic stuff, you know. But then again, you know, things are hard, so they have to put the pressure on the people, just like how they're increasing gas prices to maybe pay what SKERRIT was talking about there. But you know, I know it didn't come from his money for sure. Anyways, brothers and sisters, that is not the point right there. The government's apparent inaction raises concerns, leaving us to wonder what measures are being taken to rectify this alarming situation. When you ask yourself, what measures are the government of Dominica taking to rectify any situation, you have to first conclude that nothing is being done. And then when you conclude nothing is being done, then you try to bring pressure on the government so they can do something. Remember what the situation that was happening with the same situation we're talking about today? On the basis of them saying, hey, they wrote a letter and say, hey guys, we are lacking a number of equipments and a number of medical things that are needed to function, and you know, we have to close down certain things. And then the new individual who's an engineer, I believe he is, who's now in charge of the healthcare facility, the Minister of Health, came in and say, we are looking at this and this should not have been proper protocols, whatever was not followed, whatever. And then you have a history, a culture, brothers and sisters, of Dominica health care not having adequate health care resources. But you know, that is what the people want. The government apparently in action, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, the acceptance of less fortunate are left without essential care. So if we cannot handle the fortunate, much less for the less fortunate, you know, brothers and sisters, so, you know, it's a sad world that we're living in the nature isle, in the planet Dominica, brothers and sisters. The acceptance of less fortunate are left without essential care is nothing short of national tragedy. I remember the individuals like Suki, who also, you know, I guess they're trying their best, you know. At least the outside world treated Suki much better than inside Dominica. And then you heard the Prime Minister making statements about, I eat my power breakfast. Anyways, brothers and sisters, the World Health Organization, which of course can be a bubble organization, you have to be careful with that one. Mind me, YouTube. Anyways, the Constitution clearly asserts the right to health care is the employment of the highest attainable standard of health, is one of the fundamental, most foremost rights of every human being. Are we getting that in Dominica, brothers and sisters? Can you safely say, oh, labor rights, can you say that Dominica is getting the fundamental, or being showcased the fundamental rights that it has, so that everybody has proper health? Is that the case? This is the Labour Party government. This Labour Party government seems to have forsaken this basic principle, denying Dominican their fundamental right to health. Imploring my fellow Dominicans to rise up and take a stand against this injustice. Now, brothers and sisters, it's interesting that the person is saying Dominicans need to take a stand, but it's interesting that Dominicans know exactly what is happening to them and they're not taking no stand, so you have to tell them to take a stand before they take a stand. What kind of craziness is this? What kind of insanity is this? You know what is happening. You're not taking a stand, so somebody has to come and tell you, hey, lad, well, take a stand now, please. Take a stand. You know, it can affect your family. It may have affected your family already and you're still not taking a stand. Come on now. You know, do something, a little, just a little something, my baby. You know, who knows? So that's another interesting one. So this person is imploring their fellow Dominicans to rise up and take a stand against this injustice. It is time to voice our concerns, demand accountability. Talking about accountability, remember they did demand accountability, SKERRIT saying in 2019, I'm going to embarrass Lennox Linton about the CBI programs. And when they do the CBI account, when they do the financial accounting for the CBI, we're going to embarrass Lennox Linton. Embarrass him to the point where people look at him, oh, he's not suitable to be Prime Minister, he's not suitable to be Financial Minister. SKERRIT was Financial Minister and he screwed up the country so bad, he had to retire his position and give it to somebody else so that that person maybe can screw it up for them, and then he would not say it's his fault. I'm just saying, right, brothers and sisters. But accountability is vital in Dominica, and of course accountability is not being met at all when it comes down to the nature of the Caribbean and everybody quiet. So employing the Dominicans to rise up, hopefully they will rise up in not just by 400, 500, 600 people, hopefully by 10,000, 15,000 people, because healthcare is not just for 500, 600, 700 people. You know that, guys. It's pretty much for everybody in Dominica. But of course, they have to implore you to stand up to talk against, the injustice that is being had. It is time to voice your concern, demand accountability, and act to ensure that the right to health is not just an idealistic notion for some, but not for all, but for some, brothers and sisters. An idealistic notion, but a tangible reality for every citizen of our great nation. What is alleged to be great, brothers and sisters? what makes Dominica great? What makes Dominica a great nation? Is it the people who are great? Or is it the policies that are being placed on the people as a result of politics that makes it great, brothers and sisters? Because you need to have policies in place to ensure that the people don't create corruption on the people or work against the people. And the people are the ones who pretty much make the laws to then say, hey, yes, this should go. But it seems like the people are very quiet and not saying much on that regard, unfortunately, right there. But it's all up to the people, brothers and sisters. Prime Minister SKERRIT publicly told us if he or his family falls sick, yeah, I just reiterated this a while ago, he can afford to fly them away. What about you? He can afford to fly them away with your money. But yeah, maybe he has his own thing going for his family right there. But usually the people of Dominica usually take care of the Prime Minister, and of course as a result of the Prime Minister being the family as well. So you're telling the Dominican people, you guys can fly me out and make sure that my family and thing are healthy. But what about you? What about you Dominicans who are not able to fly out, or your loved ones? Are you prepared to remain or die before your time? The great book says, oh fool, why should thou die before thy time? That is a very interesting statement from the great book right there. While he and his loved ones want to prolong their lives for as long as possible and enjoy the riches that they have amassed, some way, somehow. Interesting stuff right there. But you know what's even more interesting, brothers and sisters? I remember this video of the Grog family, brothers and sisters. The individuals from Maho who had the container and all these kind of things and situations with ammunitions and this kind of something there, brothers and sisters. Well, remember this? When they were trying to leave Dominica, brothers and sisters?
We were on that plane, and now we're waiting.
So I guess these guys came to stop them from leaving. Apparently they were on the plane.
We have no idea what's going on. They kicked us off because we're a risk. But hey, apparently the police are running the show here.
So they were on the plane some months back, brothers and sisters. I think around 2023, around that time, early 2023, mid 23, around there. They were on a plane, you know, heading to Barbados, it seems, and they decided, no, guys, not going anywhere. Now, keep in mind, brothers and sisters, the whole hoopla that happened in Mahu with the container and the ammunitions or whatever, and they had the court case on this whole situation, and of course, the verdict was that they had to pay about $10,000, 9,000 something, $10,000 around there. So they ended up paying that money, from my understanding, and they were pretty much free up from there. I think they had another situation with the what do you call that again? The port, the customs, and of course, I think that's what he's gonna be talking about right there, guys.
Friends and family, quick update on the court today. It was kick the can down.
That was like in February, I believe it is.
On the road.
So
After 6 months, they still can't figure it out. We got a letter first thing from the DPP, just saying, I don't know why they couldn't have figured this out a month ago when they were supposed to actually have the documentation to my lawyer. They failed to do that, and so obviously it was an adjournment. Although I was ready to go. I'm ready to see this thing through. I'm ready for them to present their evidence, whatever evidence they think they have. So apparently we're going to be meeting with them at some point in the future, but I've heard this several times from Customs, so I don't hold my breath for that. But hopefully it actually happens. Next court date is February.
Oh,
hopefully.
So the next court date, which just passed there, was February. They had that court, and I don't think anything happened as a result of it at all. Nothing happened. So this video was made earlier on, either in December or January, one of them, and or sometime in 2023. And the next court date indicated was February. They actually did that. Nothing came from it.
We don't get to that point. I'm going to continue to write on this, and it'll be part of what I write to the Attorney General in letter 2. You guys have a good day. God bless.
So guys, today, I believe it is today, or yesterday, I believe it is, they were deported.
Hey, really quick update. On the plane from San Juan to Miami, I guess the wicked government of Dominica is just going to dump us in Miami and expect us to find our way when everything we own is in Dominica. Everything. wonder why they decided to show up at 5 a.m. at our house, nearly knock the door down, pretend to look for guns for about 10 minutes, and then be like, oh, by the way, you're deported. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. What a bunch of incompetent morons. Well, there's going to be hell to pay because I'm a fighter. So this is what I've got. Once I get back into the States, it's going to give me a little bit of different leverage to fight from. They can't really poke at me anymore. I'll be out of their reach. So I'm going to be the white thorn in their flesh for a very long time. They started something. I intend to end it. See ya, boys.
Guys, for the life of me, I don't understand who is the advisors for SKERRIT them. I really don't. I don't get it. Who is the advisors, brothers and sisters? So when they stopped them the first time, brothers and sisters, in that thing, I think they were flying to Barbados for them to head to the embassy, if I'm correct. You know, if they are watching, definitely let me know in the comment box below. They were heading to the embassy, but no, I think it was he that was flying out, and his family was in Dominica, and he was flying to the embassy. Or was this? I can't remember, brothers and sisters. But I remember at one point in time, he was heading down to Barbados to the embassy to find out this whole situation that is happening, or pretty much let them know about the whole situation that is happening in Dominica. They prevented them from leaving. Okay, they prevented this individual from leaving, and recently decided to deport the entire family. Now they have a case coming up against them for obviously holding them beyond the amount of time that they should have held them. There was the whole, I think when they read the matter the first time, the judge was wondering why did they keep them beyond the time. That's a violation of human rights. Now, it's interesting that they woke them up around 5 a.m. or whatever, went through their house looking for, well, based on what he's saying, quote unquote, looking for ammunition, didn't find it, then they say, oh, by the way, we're going to be deporting you. I mean, who is advising that? Didn't you guys learn from the Tommy Lee situation? You guys deported Tommy Lee, right? You deported Tommy Lee. Now, years later, you had to end up paying Tommy about $3.1 million US, I believe it is, for that same kind of reason. You guys doing the same thing. Oh, yeah. You guys doing the same thing again. It's very sad, though, that if they bring that case up, they're gonna be winning. They will win the case. I never said that. They must have thought that, you know, since they're trying to carry a case against the human rights of, you know, having the little ones or whatever that case is, right, whatever it involves, that deporting them will be the best thing for them to do to stop that whole issue from happening. Now, keep in mind, I told you guys that they were going to the embassy in Barbados to pretty much let them know about this whole situation that was happening. You stop them from there, and then today or yesterday, you decide to deport these folks to go to Washington, D.C. You putting them right in the nest for them to expose what has happened to them in Dominica. No, I don't know who to feel sorry for. I just cannot understand. I cannot understand that. You making these people not just go in the embassy in Dominica. You make them go to find the boy. And I've heard, it has been indicated to me, right now they are looking for the ambassador of Dominica in Washington. For the ambassador to answer questions. That's what I heard, brothers and sisters, from my own. For the ambassador to answer questions about their deportation. No, I would understand the basis that they were maybe they were criminals. They're not criminals, but maybe they're criminals in Dominica. They are being locked up in jail. You know, like how they have in America. You go and do a crime, they convict you, you're guilty or whatever. And as a result of that, they decided deporting you from Dominica. They deport you from America. You can never return. What did they do for them to warrant being deported? They had a case against all you. They had either one or two cases, whichever it is, brothers and sisters, on the basis of human rights, which you guys bound to lose. You bound the court, sir, the very Dominican court, saying, why did you have these guys beyond the amount of time allotted for them to stay? Then when the grandparents came down, you refused to give the grandparents the children. And now you're deporting them for them to go and report what happened in the embassy in the United States. I don't know what on earth is happening. Brothers and sisters, it's unfortunate though that if they bring forth this case, that government is gonna lose. It's unfortunate that it's not the government that paying for these things, but then again, it's the people that are voting for this set of people to screw up themselves. Remember, we lost visa-free access. We lost visa-free access to the United Kingdom. The government, them have full responsibility. They have the full responsibility, 100% for causing that. We lose visa-free today, brothers and sisters, in Ireland. We lose it fully as a result of these people. They put Dominica with Vanuatu. All you know about Vanuatu, that's probably why. Anyways, they lumped Dominica with Vanuatu and Honduras. Vanuatu was also one of the time, I think they were doing it longer than Dominica, giving criminals passports and this kind of things there. And shielding them for some sort. Remember Ali Rizam on Friday came down Dominica? We were told that he was being shielded by the very government. No, he's in jail now? No, so? All right then. Now you guys sending them to United States. What? I myself, I really, I don't know. I don't know. It's just unfortunate that the monies that they will have to pay these guys is coming from the treasury and not from SKERRIT's pockets. But then again, it is the very people who are voting for these people to screw up Dominica. And they staying quiet on it. They deport those people. You sending them is like a gift. You gifting them the ability to come and tell them what's happening so they can come back behind you. On what basis do you have the right to deport them? What basis? I wouldn't be surprised if they're back in Dominica, no? I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, this boy. I can't.
Morons. Well, there's going to be hell to pay because I'm a fighter. So this is what I've got. Once I get back into the States, it's going to give me a little bit of different leverage to fight from. They can't really poke at me anymore. I'll be out of their reach. So I'm going to be the white thorn in their flesh for a very long time. They started something. I intend to end.
And they not started, the brothers and sisters. I understand the whole situation with the ammunitions or whatever. Maybe they didn't know or whatever. They brought everything of theirs. From my understanding, they brought everything of theirs. They left wherever they in states they live in. They left it to avoid this whole Rona situation or what have you. They come to Dominica, settle, trying to do ministry work and whatever. They end up in that situation right there. So maybe as a result, they had some stuff in their containers or whatever. You know, coming to Dominica to try to even add to the but boy, I tell you, boy, that is I don't know, that the high level of incompetence just insane. Well, then again, we are the police deputy, whatever Mr. is, coming and talk about amnesty, and you have to bring, when you bring your ammunitions, they're going to arrest you after in the amnesty. I don't know. We are being run by idiots, brothers and sisters. And the funny thing is, we know we've been run by idiots. And people still voting for these people, we boy. Them man send him, them man deport. They didn't ask him to leave nice. They deport him, man. I mean, you should let the man fly out now if you want to fly out, you know. And God talk and whatever. You giving him a leverage, we? You giving him a leverage? You deporting him? Hey, no. Guys. Ah, boy. Well, you go and do them man wrong. It's like lying. You lying. Then on top of the lies, you have to make more lies that even worse than the other lies that you told to protect the previous lie that you've told. When things coming out, you have to make a worse lie than the lie that you told to protect the previous lie, and that lie you have to protect with the worst lie that you told it. It's like you're just mounting up problems. I don't know if it, for some strange reason, is the government doing that willfully? Are they doing that willfully to remove more money from Dominica so they can further break down Dominica? Is that the case? Because like I don't know who the advisors are. Who the advisors are? God in heaven. All you could do if you didn't want them in Dominica, say okay, you are free to go. You are free to go on the basis of them leaving. Maybe they say after they deport them, maybe they won't come back for them to try the cases that they have, the human rights thing that all you violated. Maybe that's what they thought. If we allow them to go freely, they can also fly back in Dominica for them to do the cases and whatnot. So let's deport them instead. You give them a leverage to bring to Washington, D.C., to the capital of United States. Boy, I never see stupidness like that in my life, boy. But I guess, guys, as time goes by, we'll see how that escalates or that de-escalates. I'm most likely going to escalate. Boy, well, you think it's Dominica that day? You think it's Dominican people are there? Huh? The Dominican people staying quiet, or you do Dominicans wrong and they staying quiet, or you come in and pay Dominicans off for them to, you think it's so? No, you might end up in international arena, not just Dominica, but international arena for what you do. Or you had the whole situation with Tommy Lee, where you had to pay the man $3.1 million US, I believe it is. Well, it's not easy, they deal in Jamaica, so most likely it's US dollars, $3.1 million. You go in and do the same thing? Guys, what are your thoughts, man? Maybe I'm delusional. Maybe. Who is the advisors? Who is the advisors? Who? Don't be surprised if you see them back in Dominica, okay, guys? Because they're going to use that as leverage in the thing and then explain all what was happening to them. And worse again, you leave all the man stuff in Dominica. All the man stuff in Dominica, we. You want to clear out this stuff in America to move to Dominica. All the man stuff in Dominica. You put them on any plane to go Miami and leave them in Miami and they have to figure out the way to go. Boy. I tell you. Sometimes I don't know, eh? I don't know. And they have a right to do this, you know, by the way, guys. They have a right. It's not like them Dominicans are taking blues. Look at the partner. Remember the partner I was talking about, he get a house? They beat the man, They beat the man, and you know what the man say when he get his house? They should have beat him sooner. That is what he say, we. boy. Hey, guys, let me know your thoughts, man. Leave your thoughts in the comment box. Look, guys. Hey, I'm all for these folks, man. I'm all for this. They have full right to do what they're doing. You violate their rights. You violate the human rights. Huh? You prevent the demand. All, boy, that's myself. I don't know. Eh? I don't know. But what I see in there is insane. But guys, what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts on the whole situation right there? Do you think the Dominican government is thinking properly? Do you think the court system, and I understand it's a court system. Was the court even involved in this? You had a case. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Give this video a thumbs up if you understand it. If you want to see more, subscribe and turn on the post notification, brothers and sisters. Let me know your thoughts, guys. This is all your boy asked for this here, Brbptv. It's a bit long, but hopefully you guys understand it. And of course, be real. Oh, pause a while, brothers and sisters. I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Baron in St. Thomas. Happy birthday goes out to you, bro. We do appreciate you. I know you guys are one of the individuals that tend to watch the videos a lot. Big up to you one time, bro, on your birthday. Just want to tell you I appreciate you. And shout outs from your daughter as well. Big up one time, bro. And of course, with all that said right there, happy birthday goes out to you guys. To Mr. Baron. And of course, I know your family's gonna treat you nice. Take you on a meal, eat some potato salad or something. Anyways, guys, with all that said right there, be real, be positive.